That's a Nebraska winner.
And he's sacked. Adam Carriker, one of the great defensive ends for Nebraska.
Welcome, everybody, to the Carriker Chronicles, the People's Show, where we're bringing you the pulse of Husker Nation. And today I am joined by Mr. Nate Gerry. This guy earned first-team All-American honors according to Pro Football Focus. He's earned multiple All-Big Ten honors as well as first-team 2016 Big Ten honors according to the Associated Press. Two-time Defensive Big Ten Player of the Week and a Nebraska Defensive Co-MVP in 2014, and a guy who will undoubtedly be drafted at some point this weekend. Nate Gerry, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. And I'm going to hit you right out the gate with the biggest question that popped into my mind right away when I found out we were going to be doing this little chat. Targeting. Talk to me. Talk to me about the targeting rule, your penalties, and your thoughts on it.
Man, I've heard this way too many times. But, I think it's obviously a rule that needs to be implemented in the football game. Nowadays, people are bigger, faster, stronger, and, that's what all these coaches are implementing in recruits and stuff, and how you get recruited and things like that. And, just the danger of football is obviously increasing, but, that's just part of playing football sometimes, I think that there's more targeting than is called. I think, you would know just as much as I would being in the trenches. You guys are banging heads 24/7 every play. So, I think I got kind of screwed a couple times, but I guess if someone's gonna have to be the lesson learned, I guess I'll do it. So I was pretty upset with it, especially in the bowl game. I guess I was very upset with the Iowa game just because nobody likes Iowa, and we wanted to take down the number 3 team in the country, or number 4 team in the country at the time. So I was pretty upset with getting booted from that game as well.
You're absolutely right. Nobody likes Iowa, and you did get screwed, and you had every right to be upset, so I'm with you there. But the draft is tomorrow. The draft is Thursday. So where have you been training for the draft? How have you been getting ready and prepared for the Combine, the Senior Bowl, and now the draft?
I've been in Lincoln. I was in Lincoln for a couple weeks right before Pro Day. Right after I got back from Indianapolis, I was working with a trainer who I worked with when I was in high school. His name by Christopher Slatt. He lives in Lincoln now. He's got me right for numerous years. And so I've been training with him in Lincoln, and then unfortunately I came back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota about a week and a half ago. Being able to come home, spend time with my family. I got a little niece, so been able to hang out with her, and I've been working out at the Augustana football facility. My dad is the head athletic trainer there, so it's nice to be able to be around football players. Got a couple buddies who play there, and I've been sitting in and watching some film and watching practice with those guys, so it's been a blast being here.
Now, have you heard any rumors as to where you might go? It's hard to project what round, but maybe what team, or what round, if you have any idea, what teams have shown interest?
I think right now for me, all that stuff's up in the air. The past week or so, I've been on the phone quite often, just talking with teams, just all across the country. I think every team I talk to is kind of mentioned to me that I'm pretty versatile, and that's what a lot of them are looking for. Is they got a couple guys in their own facilities who think I can play will linebacker, but then again, they also a couple guys in the facility who think I can play safety. So I think it's going to come down to who's left on the board, what teams need, and things like that. So I think I'm seeing it as a positive so far, is that be able to be versatile, and so I'm just hoping for the best.
Now, do you have any pre-draft, pre-Senior Bowl, pre-Combine stories you could share with the folks at home? A little bit of behind the scenes you could share with us?
I don't know if I have any of those, honestly. I've been trying to just stay behind the scenes a little bit. I haven't been doing anything extra. I've just been doing the same things that have gotten me and had a successful career in Nebraska. Just being able to get that one opportunity. Coach Bo believed in me, was giving me a scholarship, and that's kind of what I'm banking for here. Is just having one person, one team believe in me, and just you teach you give a young kid hope and belief. You can run with it for a while. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Do you have any stories from your time at Nebraska maybe you could share with the folks, and anything there that would be all right to share on the show?
Man, I got a lot of stories. honestly, but just to pick one, it's pretty tough. I just think the people in Nebraska, just the friends that I've made, the teammates that I've made, are, that's just one thing that I'm going to remember the most. We've had guys like you, yourself, former black shirts, come in and talk to the defense, and every time, one thing I always picked apart from year to year is that each guy comes in and says that they miss the memories inside the locker room, and being away from football and being away from Nebraska for a couple months now, that's kind of one of the things that kind of hits home a little bit. I miss the guys, being able to wake up every morning and seeing them, and right now I don't really have any set schedule, so I kind of feel lost a little bit. So just being able to take those friendships and those teammates and just move on, just be able to see how successful we are going to be in the future.
Now, you talked about Bo and Bo giving you a chance, and you were there during that transition from Bo to Riley, and it's no secret it wasn't the easiest transition in the world, but talk about that and talk about what it was like going through that for yourself.
Yeah, like you said, it was tough. As people can see, it's not too hard. It was kind of a 180 turn from going from Coach Pelini to Coach Riley. The mindsets are different, but the ending goal is still always the same. For me, it was tough. I was going into my junior year. I wanted to be a leader of the team, so I tried to stick my nose into things, asking coaches a lot of questions, things just so I can get a head start on things and being able to help the team move faster in the progress. But it was tough for me. It was tough for a lot of guys, actually. It's just being able to want to play football and just being unclear about playing football, and that's one of the assets to the way I play football is I'm pretty knowledgeable on the field, so if I don't really know what's going on 100%, the style of play kind of slows down a little bit, and that's kind of what you saw from the black shirts in 2015. That's kind of, we weren't as fast as what we were last year, and it was tough, but I think towards the end of the year, after we beat Michigan State week, going on after that, I think that we grew a lot, and we faced a lot of adversity, and I think that's kind of what built our relationship with the team, and that's what grew, and that's why I think that we were a pretty productive team this past season.
All right, now watching you run around on that field out there, you clearly like to work out. You got a pair of guns on you, so I'm curious. What are some of your favorite workouts? What are some of your favorite lifts that you like to do?
Oh yeah, obviously the biceps and triceps. Like you know that. Anything beach body, I guess. I'm all about biceps and triceps, but I really one thing that kind of grew on me since being in college is the Olympic lifts. I really like to do power cleans and snatch cleans, stuff like that. One of our former black shirts, Jack English, we like to call it moving weight, and that's kind of one thing we like to do in that weight room is we like to move a lot of weight, and that's what we do with those Olympic lifts. So that's a lot of fun, gets a lot of rah-rah going, and that thing brings a lot of energy to the football field. So that's one of the lifts that I really like to enjoy.
Now talk to me, because when I went through it, training for the combine was completely different than training for football. So talk to me, was it different for you? Was it fairly similar? How was the combine training for you compared to when you were lifting and working out at Nebraska?
Oh, it was night and day. A lot of the workouts are less, like at Nebraska, for example, we did a lot of Olympic lifts. Some of those are kind of stressful in the body and the joints, things like that. Being able to pull weight and then catch weight, that kind of puts some stress on your joints. But working towards the combine, we did a lot of bench workouts because there's a bench press test at the combine. Otherwise, we didn't do a lot of movements that put a lot of stress on our joints or anything like that. We were trying to stay as healthy as possible because performing and not performing at all is two different things. So we were just being able to go there healthy and just do the best we can. Yeah,
I always thought getting ready for the combine actually killed me playing football because it was just like getting ready for a track meet. And obviously that's not what football is. I know you're a former track guy yourself. But all right, so this next question, I wrote it down. I debated whether to ask it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So being ruled out of the Music City Bowl versus Tennessee, talk to us about what took place there, and your, just kind of the floor is open to you to address that question, however you'd like.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed out about it. I had a plan for my whole senior year on what I wanted to do in the future, and told me was, I wanted to be an NFL football player. So For that, I had to, I was taking classes, and for me, I wanted to be able to stay in Lincoln my senior spring, so it would have been this semester. And I didn't have many credits left, so, I kind of shortened my credits up in the fall so I could focus more on football. Then ended up coming 3 credits short, missing online class. Ended up was in a group project, kind of fell a couple days behind, me and a buddy did, and a teacher, one of our TAs, allowed us to ask our peers if we could turn our work in late because it was a group project, and they allowed it. And then, at the end of the day, or a couple days later, we got an email back saying that it wasn't fair to other students, so ended up coming 3 credits short. I was hurt, teammates were hurt. Ended up buying my own plane ticket, flew down to Nashville on my own. Tried to support the team as much as possible, being able just to be there and show face. I think kind of helped some of the guys. But at the end of the day, wasn't responsible when it came down to that aspect. But like you said, I was really bummed out to be able to miss my last collegiate football game of the year or my career in Nebraska. It was kind of one of the most things that hurt me the most.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about Mike Riley and the progress from year 1 to year 2, guys playing faster this past season than they did the first year he was there. So what are the expectations you have for the staff going forward, for the team, the program going forward, maybe this season, the next couple seasons?
I've sat in on a couple meetings. I went to a couple practices under Coach Diaco, and I saw nothing but great things. I think that Nebraska fans around the country should be just excited for the next years to come. I think Diaco's got the great mindset. I think that he's pushing these guys to another level. The positive energy you see out of there. Coach Elliott coming in. Coach Williams coming in. I just think that they have a bunch of teachers, and I think that just the connections they have with the players is going to help push them to another level. And the best part about it is that Coach Diaco came into a real young but a very talented defense, and I think that with his help, I think that they're gonna be real good in the future. But as of right now, I think that they need to find a couple leaders. Right now, even with a lot of seniors on the team. I think that they're going to have to find a couple leaders, and I think that that's going to come through summer workouts, stuff like that, and then spring ball. So I think fall camp's going to be a huge improvement for their season.
Now talk to me, because there's a possibility you could play in a 3-4 defense in the NFL. Do you have a preference if you play in a 4-3 or a 3-4? And your thoughts on the Huskers moving to a 3-4 defense this year?
I don't really have a preference on if I play in a 4-3 or 3-4. I played 3-4 when I was in high school. I played 4-3 in college. But, I think it's a nice change-up for Nebraska. We haven't seen it in who knows how long. Nebraska fans haven't seen that in a while. You see a lot of teams kind of translating over to that 3-4 defense, especially in the Big Ten. Our offense went up, Wisconsin ran it. We go up against some of those defenses who do it. So I think it's not only going to help the defense, but I think it's also going to benefit our offense where they could be able to practice against that type of defense, that style of defense throughout the year. So, they'll be able to see both sides of the 4-3 and 3-4. So I think it's not only going to help the defense, but I think it's also going to benefit the offense.
All right, last question I got for you. Then I'll let you go. Do you have a surprise player maybe most people aren't aware of that we should be keeping our eyes on for next season, whether it's offense, defense, anybody we should be watching out for?
Yeah, apparently I think he's the answer to Nebraska football right now. I think with the addition of Coach Diaco, I think he's gonna get him right. But I think having Tanner Lee calling the plays in the huddle, I think he's open up a lot of eyes. I think he makes a lot of plays. He made a lot of plays against our defense last year on scout team. Coming in short notice, I think he's built a leadership role where a lot of kids bought into him. A lot of kids listen to him. So I think that the ball is in his hands. So I think this year is going to be very exciting.
He was just named our starting quarterback, so that's got to be exciting. So be sure to tune in on Fast Friday, Husker Nation. Tomorrow's the draft. I'm going to give my draft story, my memories from the draft, so be sure to tune in on Fast Friday. On Monday, I'll break down the Huskers, such as Nate Gerry and where they ended up. And until Fast Friday, go Big Red, and always remember,
throw the bones, baby.